Well, well, guys, I hope you're enjoying Gallademas, because today is actually the 21st, so we're getting close to the end. So, well, I'm going to be talking about my favorite Pokemon of each type, because, yeah, today is a Pokemon. We did Little Bit Planet yesterday. So, my favorite bug type is Volcarona. I think Volcarona is a very good bug type. He could learn lots of good moves, and plus, so you get him actually at a decent level in Black 2 White 2. You get him at level 35, which is actually underleveled for Volcarona because Larvesta evolves into Volcarona at level 59, which is good. My favorite dark type is Weavile. This goes back to one of my playthroughs of Platinum, where Weavile managed to one-shot Symphius's Garchomp. And it is, and that thing's ruthless. I was aware that the Garchomp had flamethrower, well, and my Weavile managed to one-shot it with Ice Punch. Well, granted, it was a critical hit, but I was still impressed with Weavile at that point. My favorite dragon type is Salamence. Now, Salamence is a very cool dragon type. A dragon also could have made it, but I decided to talk about Salamence today. So yeah, Salamence is one of the best dragon types I've ever seen. Its hit ability Moxie is very good. Plus, I think it's just an overall better Pokemon because it gets a Mega Evolution, and I think it's awesome. My favorite electric type is Electros. It is the only electric type Pokemon that has no weakness. So basically you just sweep up an Electros and won't have to worry about ground types. Except if the opponent has Mold Breaker, which is gonna be worse. Yeah. My favorite fairy type is Mimikyu. Mimikyu is my favorite fairy type. I think its disguise ability looks very cool. And I think it has a very cool backstory because it just wants to be loved. And so much that it tries to mimic Pikachu, the mascot Pokemon, for attention. Although don't take its rag off because, well, it's best if you read its Dex entry from Sun, where a scholar at one time saw what was under its rag and died from the shock and terror. That's actually dark for Mimikyu. My favorite fighting type should come as no surprise that it is Gallade. I mean, just check my YouTube name. Inferno Gallade, yeah. So, Gallade's my favorite because he pretty much looks very cool, and I like that as an alternate evolution to the Ralts line. So yeah, I think he looks very cool, and I like every time. Plus, I think he learned some pretty good moves, including Leaf Blade, Psycho Cut, Night Slash. The list goes on. So my favorite fire type is Blaziken. Blaziken was my first Pokemon in existence. Yeah, when I first got Alpha Sapphire, my first Pokemon game that I told you last time, I chose Torchic as my starter, and I evolved it into a Combuskin before I challenged Roxanne because I decided to train a bit, train my Torchic to maybe level 20. And let me tell you, my Blaziken was actually the highest level Pokemon ever to defeat the league for the first time, not counting the one time I did the Garchomp solo run in Black 2. By the time my Blaziken managed to sweep through the team, well, by the time my team managed to defeat Steven for the first time, my Blaziken was level 70. So yeah. Excuse me if I'm itching my back because I got a right itch today because my favorite flying type is Skarmory. I think Skarmory is one of the best flying types ever. It just looks so cool. It has a unique typing of Steel Flying. Yes, I know Celesteela shares this type combination, but I don't care, do I? I also think that Skarmory has just a good move pool. Steel Wing, Aerial Ace, Night Slash, Brave Bird, it's got it covered. Yeah, my favorite ghost type is Chandelier. I think the idea of a haunted chandelier is awesome. Litwick is a cute little fella, and so is Lampet, but it becomes a beast when it evolves into Chandelier. So good, and it's very useful in black and white. I highly recommend that you choose that on your team member. Sorry about that. My favorite grass type, that's where we left off, grass type. My favorite grass type is Roserade. Roserade is my favorite grass type. I think it looks very beautiful. I've always had a Roserade in every playthrough of Diamond, and they're always female. And I always name them Princess because I just want to. And I always give it the move pool. I give it the egg move Leaf Storm, as well as Shadow Ball, Hyper Beam, and Sludge Ball. Roserade just is so good. I have to pause again. Sorry about that. There we go. So, Golurk is my favorite ground type. And that's where we are now, ground type. So this goes back to one of my playthroughs of Black. When I was exiting Dragon Spiral Tower to heal my team, I ran into a shiny Golett and I flipped. I caught it and I used it on my team, and it was absolutely devastating. One of the most powerful team members I already had. I already had Excadrill, but I decided to use Golett for a ghost type team member because I didn't plan on using Chandelure that time. I have to pause again. So yeah, Golurk is a very good Pokemon. Sorry if I keep pausing, since it's just the irritating itch I have today. So next up we have Ice type, and my favorite Ice type is Aurorus. Now, you're probably saying like, Aurorus sucks, it has 2 quad weaknesses, its type is Ice Rock, that's very bad. Now, that might be what you think, but if you're asking me, Aurorus is actually very good, if you're asking me. I think the Refrigerate ability helps it a lot. Plus, having able to be power up normal type moves was very good. Top of that, I also think that this thing was way stronger than the Tyrantrum I had in my most recent X playthrough. Because my Tyrantrum fainted a couple times. My Aurorus never fainted. Even when I went against Wexstrom, the Steel type Elite 4 member of Kalos, my Aurorus was still standing even though I used it in that battle. I used it to take out his Scizor. Don't question why. My favorite normal type is Exploud. Exploud's my favorite normal type because of nostalgia reasons. It was the very first Pokemon I caught. I used it on my team and it was absolutely strong. This thing was basically rivaling my Blaziken in strength. My Blaziken was very strong, yeah. Exploud was also strong. It was level 65 by the time I beat the league. And I think Exploud was one of the best team members I used ever. Now we've got Poison type. Honestly, my least favorite type. But even though it's my least favorite, I still like it. It's just my least favorite of the 18. Drapion is my favorite Poison type. It was a three-way tie between Crobat, Toxicroak, and Drapion. I went with Drapion after some consideration. 1, its typing. Poison Dark. Yes, I know that Skuntank and Alolan Muck has this typing as well, but Drapion has one thing that both those don't have. A move to cover its only weakness, Ground, because Drapion gets Ice Fang through Heart Scale, and Ice Fang can absolutely wreck it. Ground types. So yeah, my favorite psychic type is Metagross. Metagross is honestly the most standout pseudo legendary. First of all, I think it's hilarious that the Beldum line has a catch rate of 3, meaning that this thing and type Null are the only non-legendaries that have a catch rate of 3. Second of all, Metagross is an absolute boss. I was taking out Pokemon. I think it looks cooler and better than Salamence does. Plus, Plus, I think Metagross just does overall better stuff other than Salamence does. My favorite rock type is Rampardos. Rampardos has the highest attack stat of any non-legendary or mega Pokemon. Of 165, this thing hits hard, and thanks to its ability Mold Breaker, it can even land earthquakes on some goddamn levitators. That Rampardos was vital during one of my Platinum playthroughs. The same one I used Weavile. In it, I had the Rampardos that used Earthquake all the time. But this, because you see, Team Galactic uses a lot of Bronzors and Bronzongs with the ability Levitate. Thanks to my Rampardos, it managed to sweep all those down without any problem. So that's why Rampardos is my favorite. My favorite Steel type and the only legendary Pokemon you'll see on here is Dialga. The mascot of Diamond, Dialga is my favorite legendary Pokemon ever. So yeah, I just think that Dialga is the best legendary Pokemon. It learns some pretty good moves like Flash Cannon and North Sphere, and its signature move Roar of Time, which is a Dragon type Hyper Beam. I think it has a lot of potential to be a very good Pokemon. Thanks to the Adamant Orb, it looks very good. Hopefully we can get Dialga better in the Diamond and Pearl remakes, which should be coming out as the next remakes. So yeah. The final Pokemon we're going to be covering today is the Water type. My favorite Water type is Wishiwashi. I like the difference between its weak and cute form to its monstrous and awesome form. Its monstrous and awesome form has the second highest base stat total of any Pokemon in Alola, only topped by Solgaleo and Lunala, which makes sense. And it's an absolute beast in battle. It's so good. However, its solo form, while cute, is not good at all. With a base stat total of 175, weaker than Sunkern, it is the weakest Pokemon of all time. However, I'm still going to use one in my Moon playthrough because of its school form. It'll be that good. So yeah, that is my favorite Pokemon from each type. I don't have time to cover my least favorite because they'll take too long to explain in this video because I can only go up to 15 minutes. So, what's your favorite Pokemon of each type? Let me know in the comments below or make a video of your own. And direct me a link to it. So yeah, that's all going to be it for today's Gallademas, and tomorrow we're going to do another top 10. And this is not going to be another Pokemon top 10, I promise you that. So yeah, I have been the Inferno Gallade. So subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below if you want. And share this video with a very good friend. That'll be very appreciated. With that said, I'm going to see you tomorrow for the top 10. I think it'll probably be top 10 favorite bosses, because I covered the least favorite bosses last time. So yeah, tomorrow will be top 10 favorite boss battles in video games. I am looking forward to this one. Really, I am. So yeah.